The first is why doctors don't help. So you can kind of touch on that. There's also the philosophy of healing. So if you want to like bring those
What was the question, the actual question though? Like above it?
Oh, that's the question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions as to what business or practice someone should go to?
Yeah, okay. So basically asking about the healing process and specifically who to find to help heal, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty broad still. But
yeah, so in order to address that question, I personally...
We're more so giving an answer of the why you would... I feel like an answer of why you would go to a holistic person over just going to a doctor.
Yeah, so first it's important to understand like our philosophy on healing, which would be... And I'll talk from my perspective and you can obviously pipe in.
I'll fucking pipe you, buddy.
Yeah, so people generally, like if you go to a doctor's more or less trained with your physical body, but you're not just a physical body. Your physical body, your emotions, your mentality, and your energy. In recent years, there's been a lot of advancements in being able to measure that energy. And I believe that's what a lot of ancient cultures and, very modern day people call your spirit. And so there's those 4 different parts. So my philosophy is you kind of have to hit all of them from one, like at once, or all of them, like at least address all of them in some way. Because if you don't hit it at all angles, what I think happens is, for example, I don't know, say you address your emotions, but you don't address your physical body. So you're still eating like shit. You're not exercising, spiritually, you're not aligned. You still have a bad mentality. Like you're still thinking negative thoughts every day. All you've done is address your emotions at that time. But all those other things that are still haven't been addressed are going to fuck your emotions back up really fast. So you have to kind of adopt a new lifestyle that's going to integrate the healing of all of those things to maintain balance. Otherwise, you'll continue to fall into a pit in one form or another.
Yeah, and I also feel like a lot of practitioners, even in the holistic realm, they tend to believe that what they do is like the best thing. So like you go to one person like, yeah, you just got to do this. This is it. And I'm like, you sort of fall into that, but that's one thing that if I were to have to do it again, I feel like I wouldn't have to spend so much money because I would go in and do these things and think that that's the next answer and then jump off and try something else. But like, for instance, I've done a lot of breath work and some of the practitioners have said like, breathing is like, I forget what saying they say. Like you can go like however many days without food, however many days without water, but you can only go like 2 minutes without breath or something. I'm like, okay, I get that. But like, if I'm going to sit here and just breathe and eat McDonald's all day, like how does that really work? So I think you do need to integrate everything. And like, that's a big point is to definitely hit it from all angles.
Yeah. One thing, if I would have to say one thing that I think is not the best, but one thing that is pretty holistic in and of itself is diet. Eating a whole food diet. You get to touch your food. You get to cook your food. You start to be more present in the moment and mindful. Like it brings about more things than just about what you're eating, but also like more appreciation for where everything's coming from. And that starts to foster that lifestyle. So,
yeah. And a lot of people ask, well, everybody thinks that I'm vegan or you're vegan. And I don't classify myself as vegan. I would classify as a whole food, mainly plant-based diet. And people don't really know what that is, I don't think, a lot of times. Because, statistically, vegans aren't actually much healthier than anybody eating a standard American diet. Because there's so many chemical replacements and people want to eat like the vegan sausages and burgers and all that crap. And it's no better for you than eating the real piece of meat. So as like a whole food plant-based diet, you're really just eating, like you're just shopping in in this veggie section, like real food stuff without a label. Like it's pretty simple and
single ingredient.
yeah, it seems like it's hard and like how would I make meals out of this, but it's super basic. Like you don't have to make crazy meals. I think that's just something that's like being played out a little bit as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Um,
So yeah, to go down the specific list of healers that I would recommend or that have worked for me, you know, I'm not against modern science in any way. Like I'm not against going to see a doctor. Sure, go see your doctor, but if he's just gonna, you know, fuck you up with a bunch of pills or something, the philosophy is try everything. Like go to a whole bunch of different types of healers. Don't just go to the doctor, because then you're gonna come home and you're gonna think, I tried, I'm fucked, it's not working. But that's you haven't done enough. You need to try. Like when I was super fucked up, I tried 12 different types of healers, and that's not to mention I went to like between 3 to like 8 or 9 sessions of each one, and that's just within the first like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks, really. Obviously, I addressed it very quickly and all at once because it was kind of severe. But yeah, so I would say, you know, you can go to your family doctor. I'm not against any of that stuff. And then the other important factor was to go in to try to learn about yourself when you're going in to see any type of practitioner. You're not like, you go get surgery, they're stitching you up, but the cells in your body are the things actually doing the healing. If you go to a therapist, they're going to help you explore your emotions and your mentality, but it's your emotions and your mentality. So you then need to go home and do the work. So in doing that, I guess we'll start with a therapist. So a psychotherapist was one of the healers that has worked really well for me. And it's important to go in there and know that, like, you know, you're paying the money to be there. You're there to soak up the knowledge that they have and how they can help you learn. So I found it helpful when you're looking for one to do that, you know, address that with them and say, look, I'm here to learn about myself. Is there something tangible that you can let me bring home, like some type of exercise or something? You know, the first few sessions will probably just be like getting your life story out to them anyway. But after that, so yeah, psychotherapist, diet and lifestyle is huge. So general diet and lifestyle stuff. I think a good way to start even on the diet and lifestyle stuff would be a naturopath doctor. Because they'll kind of, you know, they might help you out. They might do some tests, figure out things that you didn't know from those tests. Personally, I believe in a whole food plant-based diet. You can, you know, we'll link some of that stuff. Shelby and I work with Nicolette Richer out of Whistler, BC, Canada, and we'll link that in the post. And she has a great book on all that stuff, and we'll also link some other books to explore that. Yeah, and then other things in lifestyle would be a lot of reading. And like, you don't always have to see someone. Like if you're in a bad place, yeah, go see people, but also things like just reading books, becoming more interested in it, just reaching out for little things like little Googles and books and stuff can help with meditations and with daily routines and that kind of thing. So
yeah, I found it nice to use guided stuff too at the beginning. I have the Deepak Chopra app, I think it is. And I've had that for years. I used it a lot like earlier because he would talk, and it's like comforting to have that instead of just kind of, it might be hard at the beginning to sit there and try and do it alone, but some of the guided stuff is nice if it's like your first time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and there's tons of stuff out there. And yeah, a couple of people reached out and said that they have been doing that, just a lot of like self-administered stuff, which is great. If you're already doing that, then you're in a very self-aware position. So that's amazing. But yeah, just like keep putting in the work and keep doing it. And then don't stop there just with the self-administered stuff. Keep going. And like, it's one thing to do things yourself, but it's also one thing to go find healers or mentors in that area that can help you grow further. And just be happier.
Also, beyond the just like seeing practitioners one-on-one, I think doing some of the group stuff is helpful too. You know, if you want to go to like like the breathwork people, you can go one-on-one, or they hold circles where you can go on a Friday night and there's 20 people, or you can go on some retreats. I've been on a couple of men's retreats, and you tend to meet a lot of people who are going through the same things, or have been through similar things. And it's sometimes nice to connect with them on the same level, right? Everyone's kind of like, I don't know. It's usually nice and it's comforting, and you get to hear other people's stories, and it's usually inspiring for you too, to see all the people that are come out. And yeah, I find that helpful. Make friends kind of like that might have the same values as well as you.